So, in the last video I built this fancy Amiga 1200 tower, or rebuilt this fancy Amiga 1200 tower. In this video I'm going to tear it down and put it in a desktop case. Yeah, I know. And it's the famous Checkmate 1500 case by Stephen Jones. And yeah, there's an Amiga 500 in there right now. We will take that out. It has some additions, let's call it that. And then we will try to put the 1200 in there and make it work with the case. We will also use the Blizzard card from a few videos ago and do some benchmarks against the A500, which is currently in the case and has an accelerator and all that stuff. Yeah, so stick around, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's do this. So here's my Checkmate 1500 case, and I put an Amiga label on here. It has the 3.5-inch disk drive from the 500 plus a Gotek drive, which I painted in the eggshell color of the case, and I can put a link in the description for the color because I often get asked what color that is. I also got all of these different front covers, so I could do a second drive, I could do a CD-ROM, or just plain nothing. Also got this tray for the CD-ROM drive, and most importantly I got this, which is the replacement backplate to fit with the A1200. We'll take a look at this in a minute. So let's turn this around and take a look what connections there are. So we have a standard power supply, PC's power supply, joystick ports, all the stuff. We have a Gotek switch, floppy Gotek switch. I can switch between the Gotek as a boot drive and my floppy as a boot drive. Kickstart switch between the 3.1 kickstart ROM and the 1.3 kickstart ROM. This cable connects to the disk port here and connects the Gotek drive. Then we have this keyboard connector here, which connects a standard A2000 or 3000 keyboard with my A500 in here, because they are pretty much pin compatible, because all the logic is in the keyboard and not on the machine. That is very different to the 1200 and the 600. We get to this in a minute. I have an HDMI out here, which I haven't yet mounted in the case properly. This is a connector for the power, so it's routed out somewhere, I think up here, and then plugged in here. I have my reset switch, because I can't do reset without any modifications of the keyboard over this 5-pin plug. And I have my CF card, which is my hard disk. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the machine. And now we're going to open it up and take a look inside. So before I go and disassemble this whole machine, let's take a closer look at what's inside here. And let's benchmark the machine, and then let's benchmark the 1200 against this one right here. This one has an accelerator, which is it's called the Wicher 508i, this one here. And this has, I think if I'm correct, 8 megs of RAM and an IDE interface and some speed improvements, which we will see in a minute. Yeah, we have the Gotek drive right here. You can see it was black initially. I only painted the front. It's connected via this connector, which comes from an external 3.5-inch drive. It's not elegant, and the cable goes outside and then goes into the drive port. I have this mini power supply here, standard 880K disk drive, CF card reader, HDMI out via the RGB to HDMI. I did put in a reset switch, which is here, which goes to Gary. It's just a connection on pin, let me see, pin 1 and pin 5. If you press the reset switch, this resets Gary and all the rest of the system. And last but not least, no, there's more. I have my homemade keyboard connector right here. I will show you in detail when we disassemble the whole machine. I have a kickstart switcher, which is below the Wicher card. And I have, of course, the Wicher card, which plugs into the 68K socket and needs 2 wires to connect to one to Gary and the second to I don't know where right now, somewhere. Yeah, all the rest of the cables is just LEDs and stuff. Yeah, so that is what's in this case. Let's connect it and fire it up and see what it actually can do. Okay, machine is set up. Let's give it some power. Blinky, blinky. Oh, that's strange. This went from a working machine to... Oh man. Okay, why not? Another repair project. Yeah, the beauty of old machines. If you try to test them, this was my driver Amiga for I don't know how long. I used this every freaking day for years. Since I got this case and before I got my A3000. Because it looked like an A3000, a little bit wider, of course. Yeah, so I didn't want to do a repair video, so that might be for another video. So I think I will just put in the performance tests of sysinfo for the Wicher 508i here, and we will leave it at that. So I can't show you what this machine can do. Yeah, let's go about and disassemble this. Let me... So now we can see that this is Rev 6A board, which I modified to have the full memory. And as you can see, every second memory chip is a different memory chip. And this one has 1 meg of chip RAM. I did this modification, some jumpering. I have a video about that, how to make 1 meg chip RAM for the A500. And that mod worked fine for a while, but it seems like it doesn't now. So, okay, why not? Yeah, let's see. We have to pull this connector on the back here, which connects the power connector on the A500. Jeez. Okay, there it is. And this is just some PCB with some pins on it that connects to this cable right here. that then connects to the Amiga. So that's out, that's good. And the last connection to the backplate is actually my keyboard connector, which is right here. And this is just a cable. There's nothing special about this cable. And part of this cable goes to the front, to the power LED, because that's where the power LED is powered from. Like this. Okay, now the backplate is free and I can just take out the whole Amiga with all its extensions. Yeah, it feels like the end of an era to me, pulling all the stuff out of this machine here, because I spent a lot of time assembling and working on this machine to get it to the state where it was in, but it is what it is. So let's take this out of here. And I think this will be a much more capable machine once I have pulled the 500 out of here and put in a 1200, especially with the Blizzard card. No more connections. Nope. Very good. Okay, so now we have the empty case. And we have this thing down here which can be removed to put in an SD card or anything. I'm not sure if I leave the Gotek in, but it would make sense to do so. So I will probably do this. But first things first, we have to switch out this backplate, and this is held in by, I think, 7 screws. So let's go about this. By the way, I have, as you can see, these feet under here. I'm not really using these because the A1200 keyboard doesn't fit there. So I might remove them while I'm at it, but I'm not sure. Kind of like the look, this one A1000 look. And there goes the backplate, like this. And whoops, here is the other backplate, and it does look quite a bit different. I have to move this over here, and if I see this correctly, you have to screw in the joy ports, which you don't have to do here. Okay, so let's go and do this. So the 1200 backplate is in, looks nice. Don't need this because there won't be a kickstart switcher for the 1200. 1200 supports booting from the second drive. And so I don't need a drive switcher or a kickstart switcher. The kickstart is only required for using older games, and I will put WHD load on this one. So no need for that. Or I can use a software kick down thingy. I have a disk, you know. Now we go and we put in the 1200 board from the tower. Let me grab that. Okay, the tower's on the bench. Let's untower this 1200. And this involves, oh, just notice that this tray is floating around here. Not good. Yeah, let's just pull all the cables first. Wasn't sure if I could get it out of there, but I have to unscrew the keyboard connector, the 5-pin DIN connector, and 2 screws here, and then I can just pull it out. That should work just fine. We will use this DIN connector in a minute, and then I think I only have to remove 2 screws, and then we should be good to go. Ah yeah, and of course on the back side it's screwed into the case. Or the ports are screwed into the case. I will have to remove these. Okay, that should give us free access to the board, and it does indeed. Pull this out of here. So we have the drive here, disk drive, which I will disconnect. And here you can see how this LED construction works. So there's a resistor array, and that connects to the ground wires of the LEDs. And then all the LEDs are put in here, and I had to connect another ground wire to make this happen here and do the connection. And that is pretty much all there is to it. Okay, great. There's our 1200 board, and it's still... Ah, I forgot. Yeah, right. This is soldered to the board here. So I have to desolder this. Okay, so the board is free, which is good. And here is the Checkmate case again. I think I have to remove some of these port screws. This one doesn't fit, this one and this one. So I will just remove them for now. No, that's not ideal. So I'm not sure yet if this will fit now. It's that screw here, which I just put in. So once again, hopefully for the last time, and do we have a winner? We do, yay! And maybe I can even put the screws back in here. Put these port connectors or port screws in here again. Okay, all the screws are back in. It's a bit wonky, but I think it will do. Board is not totally straight in here. Looks like it's a bit shifted, but that's okay. So let's connect the power connector, which goes in like this here, and then connects to the power connector here. And now we have the power. We have the keyboard connector, which we can screw in here. Nice. Let's do this. And then we should have a working 1200 system without a drive, but still. Okay, that's in too. Nice. Oh, we need a power supply. Let's grab the power supply, put that in here. Okay, so the power supply is in and connected. So now we should be able to start the machine, but we don't have a power LED or any other kind of LEDs. I think we should just plug it in and see if it works at least. Let's see what we get. Looks like a black screen to me for now. I mean, it worked until it took it out of here. Now I have two dead machines. Yay! Much better, because now I get a signal. There it is again. Okay. It's just not switching off. So this front switch was always flaky even when I got the case. So let's take a look at the switch, I think. So this one here is the one who doesn't want to work with me. A little bit of force. There we have our little switchy. It's just a little push button here. And that one here came loose. So I will have to resolder this to this little pin here. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, switch is fixed. So let's connect the disk drive. But I just noticed that I probably should have connected the drive first, because the connector is under the power supply, which is okay. Now the disk drive should be connected. Okay, so I put in the disk drive and mounted it on this drive stand here. Seems to be in the right position, which is good, but I don't have an eject button. That's not good. I have to see if I have a spare somewhere. So let's try if this works now. So let's plug this into a different monitor again. And I have this right here, which is a fresh pack of SCART connector adapter thing switch, which just came in. I bought this off of an eBay auction for €1, which is a nice price. Has 3 inputs for 3 SCART inputs. It has the component inputs, composite input, and SCART out. And it's automatic, so they say. Let's open it up and see if it is actually any good. This smells of fear of the workers who made it. Love it. Let's plug it in and see if it actually works. So I have my SCART thing over here, and that should be replaced by the other one. Oh, I just see that I actually cable tied it here. Bam. Problem solved. And this thing is completely without any power, so it just gets its power over this, and you have to manually switch around here, which is, I like this thing. It was part of some package I got, and it's heavy metal versus this one, which is flimsy plastic. Yeah, so let's see. And we have light down here, as you can see. I'm not sure what AV Link does, but we get a picture, which is good. It's still a black screen. What the? Why isn't there a picture on the screen? It's taking away. We don't get a picture. So it gets a signal, but it still gives me a black screen. So let's try the old SCART thingy then. Maybe it's this adapter here, or this switch. Okay, old switch is in. Ah, now we get a picture. Because now you can see it's a bit greenish there. But I'm not sure if it's a switch or if it's the board. I haven't tested this board too much. Just put it into the tower, recapped it, worked, good. Until it doesn't. And there we are. And this is just my shitty switch here, which I have to deoxit. Yeah, that just works. So I will open this up and fix this soon, because it always, you can see it's flickering. It's not the machine, it's this thing, and it gave me headaches until I noticed it's just this here and not the machines I tested. Okay, so that seems to work. Good. So we are still missing the hard disk. Okay, so one thing I have to do is to find one of these eject buttons. Then I have to screw this all in. I have to reconnect the GoTag. power LED and drive LED, and then we are good to go. Yeah, let me do this now, and I will get back to you when I'm done. The machine is finally together. Had to calibrate the height of the disk drive so the eject button wouldn't get stuck and the disk wouldn't get stuck, so that took a while. Had to put some stuff under the drive to just lift off a little. Then I made my cable here, which is pretty much a ground cable which goes to the rightmost pin here on the LED connector, which is all ground. And all these grounds are connected together to the front panel. And then we have on the leftmost pin, we have the power LED, floppy LED, hard disk LED. I didn't connect the floppy LED because the floppy has its own LED which shines through here. And I had to swap the drive because on the other drive the eject mechanism was bent. I couldn't fit a proper eject button for that. Yeah, so this works now. Let's do an Amiga test kit first. Before we do anything else, let's do an Amiga test kit from the disk drive. The hard disk is not initialized yet, so I have to reformat that probably, or see it in the workbench. I have no idea. So let's do that, and let's take it from there. So since the capture device doesn't do Amiga right now, we have to go that way. And there's Amiga test kit. Nice. We will run all the usual tests just to make sure this works. Let's try. Keyboard works. And yes, it sure does. Let's try shoulder ports. Yep. Let's try audio. This CIA is working just fine. Good. So, how about the floppy drive? Let's do a retest. Not sure if the Amiga test kit disk is good to the end. I made it with a grease weasel, so it could have some flaky sectors or so. By the way, this is again one of these HD drives, HD floppy drives. Might be the last sector that's dead. Yeah, there we go. It's not the last one, but it's, yeah, that is the disk, not the drive. Awesome, this works, nice. Also reset works on the keyboard, which is very nice. Yeah, so let's grab the Blizzard card and plug it in here. Oh no, first we do the sysinfo, which should result, sysinfo boot, which should result in the standard A1200 speeds. Okay, all the good stuff, no clock, let's speed it. And yes, this is pretty much an A1200. Surprise! Good. So now let's get the Blizzard. Okay, so I thought why not bring over a few more cards, starting with this MTec card, which is a pretty rarity. It's a Viper 4, if I remember correctly. The official name is MTec 1230 LC Ref 1.0, and this is a Viper 4. And this has, I think, an 030 with 25 megahertz or something, and a coprocessor. So let's plug this in and see how it performs. And then let's plug in the almighty Blizzard card with the 030 50 megahertz, and let's see how that performs. Just for reference, I printed the sysinfo for the Wicher card from the A500, which was about 3.48 times an A1200, or 4,245 dry stones. Okay, looks good. Let's see what it says. So we have a clock, 030, all the good stuff. Could do deburst on and then do speed. and we get 6082 dry stones. And that is 4.99 times the speed of an A1200 versus 4245 on the Wicher board. So let's turn deburst off again. Let's see if it makes a difference. Did that just get faster? So this is 6082. Yeah, that's nice. It's 1.31 times the speed of an A3000, which is better than my A3000. But we can do better. Let's do better. So in with the almighty Blizzard. Okay, so let's try the Blizzard. Speed test. Remember we had 6082 on the last one, and we have 8443 on this one. So I think we have a winner, and the winner is the Blizzard, because it has 8442 instead of 6083 or 4245. So this is about double the speed of my A500, which was in here before. Nice. And it's about 1.82 times an A3000 and about, well, 46% the speed of an A4000. Not great, but hey, it's okay. And we have, how much memory do we have? Yeah, we have 15.5 here and 2 here, so we have about 17.5 max, because the kickstart was loaded into ROM of the card, or into RAM of the card, to speed it up. So that makes a difference too. Let me show you how this thing looks when it's finished. Just a minute. So here's what that looks like now. The LEDs work. Haven't checked the Gotek. This should work because it's just an DF1. The floppy drive works. There's an eject button. Nice. And from the back side, looks like this. A bit cleaner than the other one, with a keyboard connector here. A1200 board down here. This is a power connector, and I need to put in some of these slot covers, and then I'm good to go. Yeah, so it has a Blizzard inside, and it's about 2 times the speed of an A3000 with all the added benefits of the AGA chipset. So that's pretty much half of the 4000 speed-wise. Yeah, so I think this concludes this video. I will put a DVD drive or CD drive in here. As always, thank you for watching, and I see you next time.
Thank you for watching Retro is the New Black. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. If you like the video, please share. Every like, share, and comment helps a lot. Until next time, bye-bye.